Border Barrels back for another week. After a lost episode, actually, we had a bit of a.
I didn't know if we were going to mention it.
Nah, we'll mention it. Nah, we had. I had a few too many, I think, and it was really
And
hot.
by a few, one.
Well, I had one, but it was a big one, and
It was the heat.
Yeah, it was the heat. I don't know, but it wasn't a very good episode, and we might release.
We'll release it as the lost tapes.
Yes.
Yeah, like when we get super famous, it's like the extras.
On
Yeah.
Patreon.
Yes,
But
exactly.
I think you failed to mention, I know you've only been talking for about 40 seconds,
But I've
you've
already
failed. We're back in the old stomping ground. We're out of the hot box.
Yeah, we are out of the hot box. It's a bit much, and
back in the dark box.
back in the cardboard box, which is my living room, and it is we've got the selfie frame there. You know how they have those on mirrors or whatever? Or,
Like the ring light.
Yeah, so when you take selfies or something, you have those rings.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's kind of like that. But yeah, so we're back in the living room, the aircon's on, and it probably could go up a couple of notches if I'm honest, but it's a lot.
Aircon's on,
it's
lights on, TVs on, all these things
blind
are plugged
up.
in.
Yeah.
And just quickly,
The electricity company's going to call in a second, just make sure everything's all right.
of course, because I asked permission before I turned a light on.
Yes, well, it doesn't happen very often around here. It's how we keep costs low.
What you could do is just take out all the globes and no one would know.
Well, no, but then Spidey's get in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Little
true.
Spideys.
Do you it's like my car that's in the driveway. It's not registered because I don't use it, but it's like you got to turn it on every now and again just to keep it going. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
The lights, you got to turn them on every now and again just to scare the spiders
Yeah.
off.
Now, one thing about, I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but that car's unregistered, right?
Yes.
So if you drive that car around, it looks like it's used. But if you leave it sitting there, not driving anywhere, for some reason it looks like it's been out there it's like a 2Xs.
Yeah.
It looks like it's been sitting out there for like 5 years. The
Yeah.
paint goes immediately. I don't know why, but like you park it in the same spots and you would drive it and it's the same amount of sun exposure. But for some reason, if it's sitting there, it just, I don't know.
Yeah, like it's been there for a week and it's already got cobwebs and
Yeah, but
stuff,
I
and it
think-
looks like I've just picked it up from a wreckers.
Yeah, it's
How do
strange.
spiders? Let's talk about Spidey sense. The real Spidey sense is every spider in town knowing when someone's leaving their car for a while.
Oh, yeah. Bloody hell.
Here we go, boys.
And look, sometimes they get it wrong, and that ends up in like it crawling across your bloody mirror or whatever, or it ends up in your car. And yeah, but you know, most of the time they get it right.
I think
I had
that's
a frog once.
frog.
Did you?
Just driving
you
along
in
and
far
just,
north
just
Queensland?
there it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be like the one time like just an accident would happen, and it wouldn't be an accident. It's like I'm concentrate when I drive, but if a spider's in the car, it's like I'm just finding the nearest tree. I
Yeah, you
reckon.
get hit head on somehow, don't die, and you get out and you're like, "What are you fucking doing?" They're like, "Oh, the spider." It's like, "Oh, all right, no worry."
Fair
Won't-
enough.
Won't even exchange insurances. That's fair enough. Yeah, but we're back, and we're probably, well, I got ahead of the game. I already cracked my beer, but the boys are going to crack the beers, and we'll get into this episode's going to be around SuperCoach because the preseason is upon us, and all our
Bloody
teams,
oath,
and-
it's upon it.
yeah, and how I'm going to bloody win this year. So
And Simo's got a super coach team to save up.
All that and more.
yes, very good.
He's got the top. He's got plenty of carry. It's going. It's going. It's gone. It's a miracle. Thomas has uploaded the biggest barrel of his career. Boy, oh boy, wow-wee.
The winner of the North Smith Medal for 2010 is Scott Emberine.
Now, I don't know about you boys, but I found it harder picking my team this year, knowing some of the names.
Yeah, because last year we were actually away down on the coast, and we said, Simo, you're making a super coach team, and he did. And yeah, I think it's harder as well, is because last year we pretty much picked it for you. We
Yeah,
said, get this bloke, and you fill in the gaps. Whereas this year he's
It's like
flying
no, it's like
solo.
you're a peacock.
He
fly,
has asked for a couple of we gave him a couple of pointers just because we don't want to see him completely fail. There are a couple of boys in there, and this we're going to go through the teams obviously. And Simo has informed me that he has made changes since we put together these little photos. So of course he did, and also yeah, they were much needed. So we can joke about all his players here, but hopefully he traded out the ones that we're going to joke about and he didn't trade out the big guns.
And we
Well,
should
yeah.
point out as well, things will change. This is
Absolutely.
like
This
preseason games, but this is the first team reveal, which, we all love a good
It's a draft.
initial team reveal. It's a draft, but like I think at this time of year, it's players you have a gut feel on. You get some premiums you'll keep, and then it's also just about getting the structure. And this year, the structure, due to the rule changes,
Yeah,
very,
so maybe
very
we should do that
important.
before we do.
Well,
our
the rule
teams.
changes.
Yeah, so I'm a couple of rule changes in SuperCoach. So this year, 35 trades.
That's more.
That is more. Well, it's more, but last year I reckon they gave us
And we had
the year
34
before they
last
gave us a
year.
couple because
Yeah.
of COVID. But 35, everyone gets 35. And the cool thing is that those 5 trades are, I don't know what they've called them, but say each week you
Trade
get 2,
boost.
Your trade boost. So each week you get 2 trades. You can use. You've got those 5 picks, 5 trades that are trade boosts. So you could, for 1 week, make 7 trades.
No, I think you only get one.
Oh, you can only use one per week.
I think 5 times you can do 3.
Oh, okay.
So if you saved them all during the buy rounds, you can just go absolutely nuts because you
Could
get
you do
3
4?
anyway. Yes, because you
Okay.
get 3, you get 1 extra. So you
Right.
could do
Okay, so you can only use 1 extra
Quick
per
math.
week.
yeah.
We'll cut that out.
You can do 12 during trade weeks.
Well,
basically.
I'll tell you
Yep.
what, I'm excited because I'll have approximately. So how many more is it than last year?
5.
So I'll have 16 more trades to make than last year because I'm pretty sure there was 11 changes I had to make because I forgot to save my team. And there was 11 guys who didn't play in the first week. So it took me, a couple of rounds to actually get that going. So I'll be unstoppable.
We were hoping one rule change was making the save team button bigger for you,
Yes,
but
well.
that didn't happen.
Like,
but,
what we need is like on your iPhone when you, or Android for others or whatever you use. But when you're on the app and you make changes and you swipe out of the app, it needs to like go, no swiping.
are you
Yeah.
sure?
Save this.
Well, I did learn that you can save it although the team's not complete. So that was something. So I just keep hitting save after. And I did test it.
Okay.
It's like save. It's like, do you realize your team's not full? I'm like, yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't know if that's a
See,
new
I
feature.
want that. I was saying to Zach
Yeah.
this week that it should be like I've got 2 players to fill and I got 300k. It's like, hey, SuperCoach, don't worry, I don't need 2 players. I just want one worth 300k.
Oh, but I don't.
Yeah.
It's not a. I don't think it's a valid team.
Yeah, it's like.
But it'll let you save it. But I don't
concept
know
team.
that. I could just be making that up.
Anyway, so that's the first rule change. The big one, though, to bring it in line with AFL fantasy, I believe, is that every 6 weeks they will, based on players' real life playing positions, will make positional changes.
Right. So
But
if
they
haven't.
won't take away a position; they'll only add.
Yeah.
So I was gonna. My question was gonna be, so if they're a defensive mid and they haven't played defense, that they're just a mid. But no. Okay.
No,
You
so
can't
it's
take it away because if people have the player in their team,
in defense,
You
and
can't.
then they go,
Yeah.
"Oh no,
Yeah.
they're only mid now." It's like, well, fuck.
yeah. The best
that's
example is Jack Zeeble from last year. If you remember,
Yeah.
he was available as a forward.
Yes.
But everyone picked him because he ended up, for the first time in his career, moving to the back line and actually doing the kickouts.
Yes.
So after, I think it's going to be 6 weeks.
Every 6 weeks. they
Yeah,
say.
so he would have automatically had defender forward status.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting because from my studying, like obviously the midfielders, like you could basically have a whole midfield that tons up.
that's the.
Well, that's the gist.
That's what you want.
Yeah, I know, but like, maybe it was just my team. I didn't, but I didn't have
I
too
didn't
many.
have many of the.
Yeah,
time.
I didn't have many of the tons, but like if that's the case and there's those positional changes, then yeah, you should be able to get the whole midfield a ton up, and then you got a pretty good score.
Well, the one interesting thing is going to be, I think the most popular change will be the mids that get forward status.
Yes, because and that's the thing is every year you've got to pick 8 mids, and it's like, well, but there's
Oh,
9 good ones.
The other way, right? So
Yeah.
so they'll turn up in the forward line, even though they're playing in the midfield.
Exactly.
might be-
So the sorry, you,
I was going to say,
go.
you might, for example, because he plays forward a fair bit. Well, here's 3 names that play forward a lot. Nat Fife, Marcus Bontempelli, Paddy Cripps. You might be able to get them all in the forward line after 6 rounds.
However,
Potentially.
I'm not. No Paddy Cripps.
No.
No, you can-
Hey.
nah.
All the talk out of Carlton is he's back to Paddy Cripps form, but I'm not buying into it because he burned me last year.
Yeah.
I'm not spending any time on it. But yeah, so the Bont one's interesting because it's like if he does spend enough time forward, typically at the end of the year, if they do changes, it's 35% of the game time must be
Yep.
in that position.
Hmm.
So let's say he does play 40% forward in the first 6 rounds and he gets his forward status, all of a sudden you're getting Bont, but he's not taking up a midfield spot.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and he's going, if he gets forward status, he will be the number 1 forward. There's
Right.
the only 2 that can rival him, honestly, are probably Dunkley and Duncan, and they're both as injury prone as it gets.
Well, maybe this is the first big call of the pod who actually could rival as the number 1.
Who's going to be the number 1 forward? I think, honestly, the number 1 forward, if we're talking in a world with no injuries and we haven't had any position changes, it's Dunkley. If I'm going with my gut and saying who could get hurt and who won't and who's actually going to play and be the number 1 forward, I think it's Taron Thomas.
I was going to say I'll give you 2 Smokies, and they've both got the same initials.
Nah, I reckon the other one with the same initials will not play enough midfield to get him the
Look, he
scores
won't.
needs.
I thought it was cute that they were both TT.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Tim
Taranto.
Taranto,
But no, Taron Thomas, tell you what, looking forward.
And
I'm looking forward to watching him play.
I sent you some highlights of the North
Yep, intra-club.
intra-club yesterday, and Taron Thomas and Jason Horne-Francis look incredible. Atu Bazanavalagi.
Yes, you've done it.
Bazanavalagi.
I think it's E at the end.
Okay, Bazanavalagi.
Zanavalaki.
Not bad. Besuvlaki.
Well, they've already got a silver.
Yeah,
sorry, that's my favourite nickname in the
Larkey.
AFL while we're on it. Do you know that, Simon?
No.
Nick Larkey from North Melbourne. His nickname's Suv.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
But yeah, Atu looks quite good as well. He might be a little option if he looks good in pre-season. Speaking of pre-season, 2 games only for each team. 2 official games.
Well, I already know.
One official
Hawthorn
and one.
Carlton, apparently, this Thursday.
Yeah.
Are playing an unofficial. They're having, do you know what it says?
Unofficial, just down at the park.
They're at Carlton's ground. It's everyone's,
right.
no one can come in.
Okay.
It's just players and officials.
Yeah.
It said it's a
Shirts versus skins.
Yeah, I was going to say.
an
hopefully-
unofficial training session, mixed training session.
Right.
So imagine they don't play, they just do a training session. They
you
just do
know,
skills.
It's
So
funny.
that'd be weird.
I reckon because I've noticed that a lot of the AFL footballers love their American sports. I wonder if this has been pushed by the players because that's a very common thing over in the US. In NFL, they'll do like a week combined camp. So rather than just play against like their offense versus against the defense, they'll get another team in and they'll actually kind of scrimmage against each other.
Well, I think
so in a
COVID brought this
similar-
on a little bit more, and players
well, they're
were actually
probably
training together.
But yeah, we're getting off topic very quickly.
So
we're
there
only
was just
13
rule
minutes in
changes.
and I don't think we've done
But
much.
the rule changes, so there was positional and extra trades.
There was another couple that probably don't affect us as such. Were they more draft based?
Yeah, what was it? I forget. I'm sure there's another one. Yeah, that's it. We'll try and write it somewhere.
Yeah.
Or write it in the liner notes.
Shall I do the Googling SuperCoach?
Just while you're doing that, I think I sent in the group chat today. We're talking about training sessions. Did you have a good look at the Jeremy Sharp from the Gold Coast? He's,
Fuck.
Did you have a good look at that side?
No, I did. No, I didn't get a chance.
So Jeremy
sorry.
Sharp from the Gold Coast Suns. Apparently West Australia is where he calls home.
Yeah.
Oh, well, when he's not living in the Gold Coast. And he went home a week early from the Gold Coast pre-season. And they let him go because, the borders, all that sort of stuff. And to keep as fit as he could, he did 25 400-metre sprints on a 2-minute interval. So if he took 2 minutes to run one of the 400s, he had to go again straight away.
Yeah.
So it's 10 Ks.
Yeah, right.
But you're doing 400-metre sprints. So if he could, I think he was hoping to probably finish in about, by the end of it, probably a minute 20. So he'd get like 40 seconds by the end of it. But
yeah.
To be fair, actually doing the math, I couldn't do it, obviously. But 10Ks in 50 minutes is not...
that's if you're jogging at a pace. But
Yeah.
he was doing as
Yeah,
400s as fast as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, so...
Well, as well, I know with the 400s, and I don't know what type of workout it is, but it is an actual, they are sort of, not sprint workouts, but that's a type of workout, I believe. And you're meant to replicate that, like, say you do 10 splits, and they're meant to be the same or something like
yeah,
that.
as
so
close
there's,
as you
there's
can.
fartlek training, which
Fartlek.
is essentially
Yeah,
like...
is that-
Sprint jog,
yeah,
sprint
so
jog.
you're never really stopping.
Okay,
There's
yeah.
another
You
one.
get your heart rate to go up and then go down, then go up. So
Yeah.
it gets used to living within those parameters. So
Yeah.
then when you're doing sport,
know
it's
what
like
it
your heart
feels
rate's
like.
like, yep, here we are. I know I can go for another 10 minutes at this
Yeah.
pace.
And it helps your rest is still at a pace. It's not
Yeah.
like standing or walking. Like it,
Yeah.
a lot of
Or laying on the ground panting.
yeah, or slowly dying.
Yeah, I'll look that up because I'm certain, particularly with the 400 meter distance. I know there's definitely track workouts where the aim is to have the same split every time over
Yeah.
those 10 laps that you do, or however many.
I reckon
laps
we
that
just
you
do it, the three of us, do the Jeremy Sharp
Oh,
workout. But we divide it up amongst three, not one.
and just oh god, yeah,
Or
that's
like
right.
you do a
So
400.
we do, each of us does every third one.
Or you do two, and then you do two of them, and Hutto and I split the.
How about no? How about
Well,
Zach,
that's my favourite type of training.
how
but I
about
couldn't
you
do
two
anything
do
like
it and
that.
I'll time you?
Oh yeah, and then I'll make sure that the equipment's working for you to time it.
What about how, like, when we started this podcast, if you came up with that workout, it would have been like, Hudson, you do all the running.
Yeah,
How time changes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
How time.
you'll be
how
back,
things change.
mate. You got plenty. You buddy, how old are you? 27.
Yep.
There you go. You'll be back.
That's how
Young
many
fella.
standard drinks he had yesterday.
Yeah, I heard about that. Gosh darn.
Anyway,
All right,
right,
get-
let's do some team reveals.
Yeah, righto. We're going to go in alphabetical order. So I believe I'm first.
Oh, there you go. Very
so
good. Knows his
it'll be
alphabet.
on the screen now, guys. For the people listening, you won't. I'll talk about it, but the people watching on
I can
on
see.
the tubes of you.
Looks good.
So my defence, I've gone 3 premiums, a fallen premium, and a mid-pricer, and then I've gone 3 rookies. So Jake Lloyd picks himself. Aaron Hall, I think after his performance last year, picks himself. Now, you're a bit sceptical on Aaron Hall, but I think especially after watching that last night, I was even more.
I won't spend too
in.
much time on it. My thing with Aaron Hall, he's in his 30s. He has been Supercoach relevant twice in his career for the space of about 6 weeks total. And I
except for
know
last
that
year.
I know that he has a fantastic position now. It's just a trust issue with spending 572k when there's someone else at the exact same price that I'll talk about in my team that I trust more with both their body and their consistency. So we'll talk about that when it gets to it. I'm more than happy to wear the cost of Aaron Hall if he becomes the number 1 defender and I have to bring him in later.
As you did last year with Zeeble.
Like I started Impey instead.
Yeah,
So,
I started both. And then Jaden Short, I think, with the numbers speak for themselves with him. Hooley retiring, I think Jaden Short averaged 115 when Hooley didn't play. So Hooley's not playing because he's retired.
Cool. Thank you. I'll take him out. I'll take him out of my
You
team.
can go hunting all the time now.
Yeah, I hope you haven't picked Liam Jones on a side note. He is still available despite, retiring.
Don't
Is that
do it.
Is that guy? Is that Lockie?
No, that's Lockie Plowman that you've got there.
Oh no. What about this bloke?
Sneak.
Oh, no, don't give all of it away.
Oh,
yet.
sorry.
Nah, come on. And then Sicily, fallen premium. By all accounts, his preseason's been incredible.
Well, fallen premium in price, but like not
Yeah.
fallen from form because
Yeah.
injury affected. But he's actually bulked up for anyone. He's always been a bit of a string bean, but he's got big bloody boulder shoulders on him at the minute.
interest. He's one that I'm watching in preseason games because, he hasn't been playing for a while, and I just want to see him in a competitive game against people that aren't his teammates.
And we also have like 14 rebounding intercept defenders, which is what
Yeah.
he also does.
Yeah, and
so.
it does worry me that he could go forward at any point. So he's one to watch. Kadeen Coleman, he is staying.
He's the preseason bolter for
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Yep, he's staying in my team and he looks good. Defender forward as well is
His
huge.
name's Kadeen. How good's that?
Is it Keaton or Kadeen?
Well, I've heard both.
Yeah.
I thought it was Keaton,
Or Caden?
but like it is like Dean at the end.
Yeah, not sure.
So-
Campbell Chesser looks the pick of the defender rookies in a very. It doesn't look good down there.
No,
for
well,
rookies.
we hope he plays.
Yeah.
Um,
He's been playing in match sims at West Coast. He's been running through the midfield in the A team, and then when he plays in the B team, they match him up against the best players in the A team. So they were saying he started in the guts for the A side in the last match sim, and then he went into the B side and picked up Gaff on a wing, and then he picked up Tim Kelly in the guts again. So even though he's on the B side, I suggest that because he's running with those players, they're earmarking him for a round 1
Is he? I don't know if he's a full-blown border boy, but he's played footy here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll watch him with interest.
Bench, Sam de Koning, who Geelong people are keen on, and Charlie Dean, who with Roughhead going down, looks the goods. I think he'll play, which is all you ask for 102K
Yes.
Rookie defender on your bench.
Just play an average 30 or 40. 40.
How do I go to the next one? There we go. Midfield.
So you want to do your full team or do you want to divide
Yeah,
it
no.
up?
Well, I'll go full team, I
Okay.
think. Yeah, because we go team by team.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've gone actually 4 premiums in the midfield, just because I think I actually think
5.
well, Lachie Neale is not technically premium priced.
He's a premium player.
Yeah, he is. I think because obviously they're based their price is based on their average last year with the 4 big guys there. I think McRae and Steele will maintain that price. I'm not going to get them cheaper, and if I want him on my team, now's as good a time as any. Clary, I think, will go another level.
Yep.
Which, I mean,
Have you ever started a season with him?
no.
No.
Tom Mitchell, I've said this is my value pick. I know he's expensive, but he will average 120 and he'll have a couple of 180s in there.
I can explain this when I do my team, but I'll just say it now since you've got him. Tom Mitchell won the Brownlow medal in 2018.
Yes.
He then broke his leg that preseason and didn't play. He then had no preseason leading into 2020, which was the COVID interrupted year, and still averaged, I think, 109 or 110. He then had a shoulder reconstruction and had no preseason last year. Didn't play one intra-club or one preseason game and averaged 117. He's completed every single session so far this preseason and has got an 8-pack. If you're ever going to get Tom Mitchell at 638K, it's the time to do it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, so he's going to break his leg this year.
Oh, please don't say that.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Simon.
Yeah, no, I'm very... Oh, the only thing with that is new coach, new game plan, but I don't see why he'll all of a sudden go from 40 touches to 20. He'll go from 40 touches to 35 if it's less. But
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Oh, black screen for a second there, guys. Lachie Neale, I think, should be in 100% of teams, and if he's
He's in 50, apparently.
yeah,
from
if
what I
he's
was
not
told.
in your team, you've got no hope.
Well, 1 in 2 don't have him. So
Yeah,
the
so-
3 of us here. So at least one of us doesn't have him.
What? Who?
Don't know, we'll see.
Oh, damn, we didn't have the camera pointing. That was foolish, but it was. Jai Caldwell, I want an Essendon boy in there, and at 266, he's priced at an average of like 40.
No one's going to have him.
He's going to fall into 70s because he tackles
Yeah.
and he wins the footy and he's on the ball. That's all I ask for. Horn Francis, not sure he's going to average 100, but you can't go past him. He's
From
just,
what we're hearing.
and as well, I like picking players I like watching, and I feel like I'm going to be watching a lot of North because they've got a lot of young guys,
Yep.
and they're going to play some exciting footy. Nick Dacos, same boat as Horn Francis. You can't not.
I feel like they'll plonk him on a wing or a halfback flank to start the year, and he's such an elite ball user and never tackled in under 18s anyway.
Yeah,
So
he's not going to be in a tackling position. I think they're just going to get him the ball, and
Yep.
he's going to break lines.
elite ball user.
And then on the bench, again, it's just people you think might play, and by all accounts, Conor Mcdonald, Greg Clark, and James Titas. Titas will play.
Tits ass.
Well, how did we not think of that?
Tits ass.
This whole week I've been like,
Tits ass.
tits ass is a lot better.
So that's my midfield. I'm pretty happy. Defence, midfield, and then as we go into the rucks, which is, again, Gorn Grundy, and then
Who's that guy?
Dominic Akwe for Carlton. He's not going to play, and he's not going to be in my starting team. He is a placeholder until they add Jack Hayes, who St Kilda have picked up.
Okay.
We have enough money.
Yeah, so Jack Hayes, because he's a SPP.
Yeah, he'll be 102.
He'll be 102K, so it would be the exact same price.
What's an SSP?
Supplemental player pick, or SPP, is it? Supplemental player
Yes.
pick or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
But what's an SSP? Sorry, no.
SSP is a
HSP.
A Salal snack pack.
Did you know they?
supersized penis.
Did you know? So one of the latest combos.
Yes. So
Butter chicken HSP.
yes,
I've heard
that's
that.
during the week.
See,
God.
I'm going to make
Yum.
a controversial call and say I'm not massive on butter chicken. So that
I'm-
doesn't.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm with you.
I do enjoy butter chicken, but
Yeah.
like,
not a love.
yeah, nah, and
well, I'm a big fan.
yeah, okay.
I sampled it and it was nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
get me
the
wrong.
HSP,
Yeah.
the butter chicken, snack pack.
Anyway, as I've
Yep.
done, I've got everyone off track. So keep going.
Well, we'll just
BC,
finish.
HSP.
This is my big call in the forward line.
Whoa.
And I've mentioned this to Zach a
Mid-price
lot of
madness.
Yeah, mid-price madness for sure. But I don't actually trust any of the premium forwards. And
Fair
I
enough.
can, if we had time for me to go on a monologue, I could tell you that it's between injuries, assault charges, and just general.
Who knows what role someone's going to have?
Just general distrust of anyone over 300k. And the reason I've gone mid-price madness is because all they need to do is score more than 70 and they'll make me some money and I can branch off into someone.
And just strategically, why this isn't such a weird thing to do this year, you'll have extra trades to correct it if it's not going well, but you'll also have the change of positions as we've spoken about.
Yeah.
So you can replace those guys as the year goes.
But, I mean, everyone's got the same amount of trades. So if you get it right at the start, you probably,
Yeah, the less fix-ups you have to do, the better, obviously. But previous scoring history, so Canelio has averaged 90 for a couple of seasons before a couple of down seasons.
Canelio is like now that's a fallen premium.
Yeah. Kerno, barring injuries, I think the 4 games before he did his knee, he scored 2 150s.
He'll average.
2
My
90s.
call is now he'll average 75. He'll be this year's Joe Danaher.
Yeah, which is perfect. Jade Gresham, before he got hurt last year, 104 and then a 72 or something, which is fine. Cam Rayner earmarked for another on-ball role. And I know I did say that my premiums, I was worried because of injuries. They're all injury-prone dudes, but I'm much keener on spending 200 to 300k on an injury-prone person than spending 550k on Josh Dunkley, who is also now injury-prone.
Yep. No, I can't argue.
Rochelle going to play round 1, and by all account, like I've seen photos of him, he is a man. He is a big boy.
I've noticed that with all the draftees, and I think it was the season being shut down.
They didn't play footy
last year. They just all the boys have started lifting weights. It's Josh Ward has got the biggest legs I've ever seen on a human, and he's 18.
Same as
Well, it'll be
Ben,
interesting-
Ben Hobbs.
Yeah, Ben
interesting to
Hobbs.
see what it does to the cardio.
Yeah. Oh,
Being
by
that
the
little bit
looks,
bigger.
All they did was run and do weights. They couldn't
Yeah.
go play footies. They weren't getting impact injuries.
I
But,
reckon they're
but
just
as you know,
horrible.
having higher muscle mass uses more oxygen. So it'd be interesting if they get gassed.
gassed. Elijah Hollands seems to be a popular pick, but again, he's just
Border boy.
that F6 is who plays.
Floating.
F7 and F8. Charlie Parker rumored to play. Honestly, this is because I ran out of money.
Do you know what I can't
But
believe you just said rumoured. Because Graham Parker and the Rumour. Have you heard of that band?
No.
Oh, my dad has. Shout out to my dad. But the movie This Is 40, the sequel to Knocked Up, that is Graham Parker and the Rumour. And for the last few weeks, I'm like, I can't believe there's a guy called Charlie Parker, like Charlie Parker and the Rumour.
We've got to
And then
pick
I
him.
realised today that it was Graham. And then you, straight away, when you mentioned him, said the word Rumour. Oh, come. That's awesome.
There you go. Join those dots.
They're pretty far apart. You're going to need a lot of text to join those dots.
Is it me now?
It will be, yeah. I just want Patrick Voss because if there's anyone I've enjoyed looking at photos of in preseason, it's Patrick Voss. Fucking hell, that's a big boy that tackles. Like, he hates people, I reckon.
Hutto's just like messaging the fappening going, I've got photos of the celebrity, right?
And I'll release him.
And I'll, yeah.
Cool.
Righto, let's get into Syme, your back 6. Now, you're going off. Can I read out, like, instead of you having your
Amended.
screenshots, can you go into your amended team and I'll read out what you originally started with and you can tell us what you've done to correct it?
Oh, I haven't sort of finished it, but that's all right. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to make any sense of it anyway.
All right, so you've got Alir, who is your best friend.
He is.
He's my best friend.
He's my favourite player. So he was the first player I picked.
Yeah, I imagine.
Legend. Absolute legend.
And I noticed coming up, you've got another Adonis in your team. It's not in your back 6, but he's there. So we'll look into him soon enough. Plowman, you still got him?
Nah, Nah.
Good call. I think Plowman, with the return of Marchbank, his spot might be up for grabs.
So, sorry.
That name again is...
I've said
Mr.
it. I've said it a
Plowman.
couple of times. Not sold on.
Looking at Simo's backline, if I'm being honest, I'm like job security or whatever, he's the only one I'm really worried about.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, because you look at the team and you're like, ugh. But then you're like, oh, wait, they might play.
Well, actually, I think we're going to look at this because there's money issues here. I don't think we should.
A super coach paying you to not actually bother doing a team.
because
Simo has financial issues with his Supercoach
But
team.
I can tell you why I picked all those players.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, talk us through it. I just wanted to make one more call. I think Simo's Supercoach team now might be looking like what was the Storm team that had salary cap issues, so they did a bunch of dodgy shit.
Yeah.
Simo's going to hack the system and give unlimited money cheat or something.
Nah, I'll
Sims, motherload.
No, I know what he's done with
I'll balance
D2
it
and D3. He's like, well, I've got Plowman. I need his mortal enemy, Chapman.
Yeah, chapped lips, man. No, so Aliir, so I've gone with him because he's just a legend and we love him.
You could have him all year and he'll score. In all seriousness.
No, he turned up a bunch. He's really active in the back line. But as as we go on, you'll realise that I've sort of gone a bit too cheap in the back line in a position where there's a lot of stats. So I'm going to change it. But anyway. Chapman, because he was looking good last season but got injured, so he was cheaper than, I believe, he's undervalued.
And a top 10
100%.
draft pick, I believe. So he's very highly credentialed.
So I tried to get him in as a bit of a cheapie, and I was like, I know his name. Who else did I have?
You got Lockie Jones, who I reckon very similar boat to Chapman.
Yes, because he had a season-ending injury last year, I think.
And an impressive mullet. You got to get around that mullet.
Yeah, true. And the rest, who do we have? We
Kane
have
Turner from North.
Turner, Gould, all those sorts of guys. If I'm completely honest, I looked up a bloody percentage of people that have them in their super coach and just went, well, I sort of did the back line last.
Well, I think Turner will play.
He's got a new
week.
role.
Yep, and
A small defender.
I think he'll be good.
Yeah.
Another Aubrey
will be down
Wodonga,
there a bit.
another border boy.
I think he played Wodonga Bulldog seniors when he was 16, but he's about 4'7" at the time.
Yeah.
Right. There you go.
Will Gould. I think he's been in everyone's team at some point. You always start with Will Gould because Sydney say, "Yep, Will Gould's going to play," and then he never plays.
Yeah.
So I think there's a spot there this year. I think it can happen.
Yep. I know we talked about it, but there's a couple of Sydney intercept defending ranks, according to some people, isn't great. I think Lewis Melican is a good one-on-one defender.
I did best 22s for every side during the week, and Sydney's back line was quite interesting because I sort of feel like, take Gould out of the equation, I nearly wanted to put players that necessarily aren't backmen on the back flank.
Yeah.
But Gould could be, but I didn't play him in the best 22 because he hasn't played yet, so I felt that wasn't appropriate. So who knows?
And then Simon, your bench is Will Kelly and Charlie Dean.
Yeah, so
They could both play.
Yeah, there were some names that were mentioned, so I could swap those in. But yeah, I did do the back line last, which I have, which was a mistake because just hearing what you were talking about, you sort of went with the cheaper forward line because when you think about it, the average scores are a little bit lower because they're not starting as high. I'll probably make a change there. But anyway, we'll keep moving.
The only reason forward line, I think this year especially, is the premiums are, a couple of them are fake premiums. They had a couple of good games, and I just worry about health for a lot of them. But Will Kelly's an interesting one because when he plays, he's quite good.
Yeah.
The problem is that when he plays, he also always injures.
Does a
himself.
weird injury too.
Like first game, broken arm.
He dislocated his elbow really horribly in his debut game in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then the next senior AFL game he played, he broke his collarbone, but it snapped real cleanly and they fixed it up and he played 2.5 weeks later or something dumb like that.
Yeah.
It's just weird. If there's something weird to do, he'll do it.
All right, well, let's see how he goes.
Midfield. This was an interesting one because you've actually got two of the premium forwards in your midfield.
Yes, but now hearing that I should move them into the forward line to clear more room in the mid.
But it's a good-looking midfield.
Because there's a lot of mids that are mid only
Yep.
that you really want to get in.
Yep.
And they're taking, like,
Yep.
as people can see on the screen, Dunkley and Martin are taking up spots.
Yep.
If you can afford them in your forward line, get them.
Yep. Well, there's a couple of Dunkleys we've got well, we've got a Dunkley on our screen at the moment. Got his dad.
Father
Oh, yeah, we're
Dunk.
watching the 1998
Dunkley.
qualifying final between the Sydney Swans and the St Kilda Saints.
Jared
and-
Healy on special comments.
And without going too far on a tangent, we were talking about the grounds, and like the ground is atrocious. And if there was, like Lavy Sports ground looks a lot better than this. But I'll tell you what,
Every
if
country
they,
footy ground looks better than
well,
what we're
yeah,
looking
but
at.
if they turned up to a game and it looked like this, they'd cancel it. So it was just very interesting, the progression.
There's another thing. Now, I wasn't a massive AFL follower back then, probably because what year did you say this was?
98.
Yeah, so I wasn't a massive follower because I was 4. But I just noticed Mickey O'Loughlin came out of the square to get the ball. Barry Hall's playing fullback.
Yeah,
That's
I've never saw
interesting.
that.
For
What,
the
doesn't he-
Saints.
He was a defender to start off with, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, he went from Saints to Sydney, didn't he?
Yeah,
See,
he played in the 97 grand final the year before, but kicked 3 on a forward flank.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I found it weird seeing him at full forward, but it made sense.
But yeah, so Mickey O'Loughlin came out of the square to pick up the ball. Now, tell me, back then, how many ACL injuries were there? Not many, I would
No.
suggest. And you know why? It's because he didn't plant his foot at any time. In the AFL now, they plant a foot and they switch direction, all weight bearing on one leg. He looked like a car that was bloody spinning its tyres. He took about
Yeah.
42 steps in the space of 1.5 meters to try and turn around.
They're more robotic.
This
now.
is something.
I met-
There's something in this.
I met Mickey O'Loughlin. Came to my primary school, signed something. Don't know where it is.
I've just
lovely guy.
had a breakthrough in knee injuries, and we're talking about your primary school days.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. Let's get back on track.
Oh yeah.
Let's get back on track. Simon, your midfield. Sam Walsh.
Yeah. Well, look,
Big tick from me.
big tick from me. I didn't know who he was, and just watching the games last year, he's just a legend. And I have picked with my heart rather than my head, because I think he'll do well. But I just like him.
Yep.
I like him. I like
That's a
Petrarca
smart pick.
as well, because I don't know that Petrarca is a very good pick SuperCoach wise, because he stats lower than his effect on the game. He has more effect on the game than his stats suggest, but I just like him.
But that's why we're playing SuperCoach as well, not AFL Fantasy, because in AFL Fantasy, he's probably not as high premium. But as you said, effect on the game is weighted in SuperCoach, and it is.
Oh,
in
is it
AFL
actually?
Fantasy.
Oh, there you
So
go.
if Melbourne are down, like in the grand final, he was on a pretty good score. Like, obviously, he was very good. He had
Oh, and
almost
the
40 touches.
scaling.
Yeah.
But because
Gotcha.
in that third quarter, towards the end of the quarter, he just went, I'm the greatest footballer that's ever
Well,
played the game.
He kicked
Yeah.
a goal and had a centre clearance in an important time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that would have been worth 40 points alone.
At
probably.
that point in the grand final.
Zorko, Sime. Now, Petrarca was interesting only because Melbourne's midfield, Clary, is always going to get his. Petrarca, it's Willie, won't he? Zorko is an interesting one.
Zorko, I just kept hearing his name last year, just all over the place.
He had a
And when-
great season.
Yeah, whenever we played, whenever Brisbane were playing, it was him and McCluggage. But yeah, Zorko, just heard his name. He's very consistent and just played pretty well. Yeah, he seemed pretty good.
Now, the next one is interesting because I have him earmarked for my team when he picks up what I believe will be an inevitable forward status, Patrick Dangerfield.
Yeah, now this one I'm not too sure about, because I don't know if this is going to be like that year where it's like, ooh, he's getting a bit old, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah.
How old is he?
His debut season was 08.
But
But-
fuck, he still looks good.
No, he does
And
for
he's
sure.
svelte.
But with yeah, he's svelte. That's exactly
And
what
he's
he is.
fucking caked in fucking Vaseline.
Can I tell you
Yeah.
the thing? Can I tell you the thing with Danger? In all seriousness, like as someone that likes Danger, like I know I'm not the biggest Geelong fan, but like I like Danger. He always got by on his explosiveness, and that is something that will, even if that wanes 10%,
Yep.
that will affect him to an extent because he's never been elite by foot or by disposal. So if he was explosive and getting away from a contest and it counted as a contested disposal, it was more points. Now, if he doesn't have the exact same ability or he gets caught a few more times, I just feel like that may impact his score. But it may impact his scores where he won't average 115. He might average 104.
But he's still very clever. But I do wonder with those sorts of athletes, it is all of a sudden. Yeah, you only notice it all of a sudden. Like he's not going to come out and be shit, but all of a sudden he's going to be like, geez, he's a few steps slower than he was last year.
I think he's safe for over 100 easy.
But I know who he is, and I like him.
I actually think Danger's going to have what SuperCoach wise his best year in a couple. I reckon this will be he'll average more this year than he has the last couple of years.
Oh, big call.
Back to where we are. What do we got? Dunkley and Martin.
Yeah, well,
You've mentioned we did quickly gloss over them.
I love Dusty. I didn't really watch it. I was like, Dusty's a bit of a dickhead, but you watch him play, and you're like, he's fantastic. He's absolutely he's the toughest bloke.
Yeah,
he's a really good sport. He plays hard, and you just really can't bet against him. I don't know why. Yeah,
Dusty's one of those players, and I'm this with Bont. The commentary has ruined them for the wider public because they're like, oh my God, amazing. It's like they're both incredible footballers, but like when they do basic stuff, they rave about it. It's like if Curtis Taylor did that, you'd be like, oh, good kick. And it's like, all right.
Yeah.
I've made this rant before, but I gave up on the commentary and worrying about judging players on the commentators. A few years ago when Dusty decided to kick the ball off the ground with the toe poke rather than bend down to pick it up, and it went through an opponent's legs fortuitously and went to a Richmond teammate, and Bruce McAvaney went, Dusty, so clever, no one else would have thought of that. And it's like he honestly in that moment didn't want to bend down to pick the ball up, and even if he kicked it on the ground and did it on purpose to a teammate, any player in the AFL could have done the exact same thing and would not have had the same thing said about it.
And I know.
So I gave up on listening to it.
And if you asked him, like, oh, what was it? He's like, oh, yeah, I don't know. I just kicked it. It just happened.
Yeah, Cyril made a whole career of commentators.
Cyril
bigging him up. There you go. Look at him. No Mickey O'Loughlin again out of the square. No planting of feet. Always quick steps.
Loves it.
Just trying to ignore your Cyril comment. Continue.
This is an interesting one, and I think this is the first thing I said, get him out of there, was Curtis Taylor.
I'm not 100% sure he's best 22, which is my biggest issue.
Yeah,
he might be.
Well, that was just a running out of money sort of thing, and looked at the percentage of because I don't know from Burrow.
You know who you can get for Curtis Taylor and save yourself $20K, and I'm going to push him to everyone that wants to listen. Jai Caldwell.
Oh yeah, well,
I've mentioned him. Or if you want to save yourself $72K and he does end up being best 22, a absolute leather poisoned man, Charlie Constable.
Him. I've got one other while we're talking about, like, you talk about Essendon players. A player who I didn't think would be in Hawthorn's best 22, but after watching the intra-club highlights and hearing things, I think Jai Newcomb's around the same price.
That's who I was thinking of. I was going to say, is that the guy with the half haircut thing?
Yeah,
it's not really a haircut. I don't know.
He looks like Lockie Jones. He's got like the long hair and the mustache, but he's like 19 and he's built like a brick
that's
shit
who I
house.
thought you were talking about. Yeah.
But he looks earmarked because apparently Sam Mitchell said we want balls and players that can put their head over the footy playing first up.
Yeah.
So
and then you've gone the. This is the reason I think you need to get rid of Taylor and move Dunkley and Martin into your forward line. You got Dacos, perfect.
Yep.
Horn Francis needs to be on the field. There's no point in sitting a 207K, rookie on your bench. The other one, get Hollins in your forward line because you can, and there's a plethora of rookie midfielder options that look like they're going to play. The one that I was keen to get in, but he was at an awkward price. You might like him actually. Sign Neil Erasmus.
Oh yeah, yep.
Great name.
Yeah, it's a great name. It is.
Over
an 18-year-old called Neil worries me.
Yeah,
but aside from that, Erasmus, bloody
over at Freo,
Erasmus,
and then Greg Clark again picks himself.
What was that song?
But I picked up Dacos obviously because Peter. I don't even know. I don't even know his brother. What's his brother's name?
Josh.
Josh.
He sucks.
He sucks. Nah.
If we got that somewhere, surely we kept that.
What he sucks.
Do we need to get some new talking
sound bites,
don't we?
Yeah. Where's Josh? There it is.
Josh
Dacos. He sucks. Cute. Nick Dacos hopefully does not suck. Josh Dacos doesn't suck. He's just everyone was like Peter, and then he just hasn't lived up.
Yep.
Pumpkin eater.
Brucks.
Sign your rucks. This is a
Yeah.
good one. This is what a lot of people are going with. Maybe not Gawn, maybe Grundy or Sean Darcy, but Bruce at R2.
Yeah, so again,
R2D2.
I did a little bit of research, and it sounds like he's going to play. Sounds like he's good, and
Absolutely.
Mummy's aging.
I don't mind
Mummy's
it.
retired.
Yeah, well, so he should. But
Well,
yeah,
for
so,
now.
so he's going. Well, he is the Mummy. He could come back.
He
and-
has, yeah.
come back.
He also
Lord
has
Dick.
put his name. What did he elect for the draft with? Which means you're able to
Do you
be
know that?
picked in the mid-season draft. You
Shane
can't-
Mumford elected for the draft this year. On the
Only-
off chance the GWS need a ruckman mid-season when they do the mid-season draft and they can pick him again.
Well,
But
that's pretty clever.
He
isn't it?
can't. Yeah, but he can't get picked in mid-season if he didn't declare for the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's like, I'll
That's
just
a
declare
cool
for the draft
loophole.
just in
Yeah.
case. Because like you look at
And
like,
anyone can declare for the draft. I can.
yes,
Can't I?
yep.
I missed the
We're-
deadline last
I
year. I
think
had
we're-
highlights last year.
We're
too.
all declaring for the draft this year. Border Barrels draft.
Only if we do the Jeremy Sharp session.
yeah, right.
well,
We'll do the Jeremy Sharp session and send it in, and it'll just be 3 blokes passed out after doing one sprint.
Oh, that'd be great. Okay, we'll talk about that later on because I think that would be a fun thing. But yeah, Max Gawn, and like, obviously he started really high last year, and I'm a Melbourne bandwagoner. I love all those boys. Have done really well. And bloody Majak Dor, love him. What a guy.
This was your second Adonis.
Yeah,
and fucking shoulders.
yeah. Shoulders McKenzie.
He's got a book out, I saw today.
Does he?
Yes.
Bloody might
be worth
give,
reading.
Yeah, might give it a go. But yeah, he's a legend. He's a bloody family household name.
The fucking Majak door
Yeah.
doesn't fit through a door frame.
Yeah, no, he
so
doesn't.
fucking big.
But yeah, bloody oath.
Magic door.
I tell you what though, real culture problem down at Melbourne. Coach drinking beers with the boys.
Not good.
Hear about this?
No, I'm taking the piss because it's a fucking joke that anyone thinks that's a bad thing.
Simon
Oh.
Goodwin was in a bit of trouble. So, okay, 2 things.
But
He's in trouble for possibly bullying a team doctor.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's just take that out of the equation for a minute.
your dog.
It was about,
fucking tape on him.
well, it was a concussion thing. He's like,
Oh.
he basically like, you fucking telling me that he's not getting up. You told me he was all right. A delayed
Well,
concussion from someone?
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Just to
So he
quick-
yelled at a doctor because the doctor fucked up.
Potentially.
Oh, so it's not like get him on. I don't care if he's bloody cross.
No, it wasn't during a game.
Oh, because I was going to say like Goodwin played in the days where like he copped a baseball bat and they just
Yeah.
turned you around and put you back on.
But the other thing, apparently, so he used to enjoy a punt, and he used to apparently had a fair few issues with it at some point and got some help for it. Seems to be the general consensus. Maybe I shouldn't say he got help because I don't 100% know that, but he enjoyed a punt maybe a little bit too much at points. Reined it back in. Senior coach Melbourne, especially during the COVID year when they couldn't really do much but hang out with each other. He really enjoyed having beers with the guys, and
Yeah.
like the players wouldn't be doing it at the wrong times because they got to keep their skin folds down and be professional and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. And the media saying, "Oh, you can't be doing that. You're meant to be the leader. Like you can't just be going. They're not your mates. Like you're like their dad. Like you know."
Yeah, right. Okay, so
Max
I
Gawn
enjoy a
though.
beer- I enjoy a beer with my dad.
Max Gawn put up on social media a picture of him and Simon Goodwin at the Sorrento Hotel
Yeah.
the other night
for
and said,
someone's wedding.
"Yeah, plotting season 2022."
Yeah.
So basically, to the media, going, "Just shut the fuck up."
Yeah, well, okay. So let's think about this in like real life scenarios. So with that, I won't take too long with this. So you come to a new workplace. You're the new person, or like they've been around for a while, and it's a bit awkward. You're finding your feet and whatever. And what cures that? Friday night.
Having a fucking beer.
Well, Friday night they go righto. Yeah, we'll go out and have a couple of beers. Someone has one too many. Someone has like not enough. Everyone has a few laughs, and when you come back that following week, all of a sudden everyone gels that little bit better. And I can't really explain it. Like it could maybe you don't have to drink to, do that, but still having those moments together and talking about things other than footy and that sort of thing,
Yeah.
having a bit of a laugh. It is bonding.
And then they won the flag.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
find it interesting that this has come up after if he spent the year drinking with the boys, they won the flag. It's like, yeah, they fucking won.
But like
it obviously works.
And let's just say hanging out. Like even if they bloody went bowling, as I keep saying,
go bowling.
yeah, it's still building trust and that sort of thing.
Go
And
bowling, but don't have a beer when you're there.
That's
Yeah,
it. But yeah,
fucking-
building trust. Everyone has a bit of a laugh, and then people are in Australia very self-deprecating, so it just builds all sorts of things, and that's just stupid. But I think again, people try and guess the correct thing to say in that moment. They're like, "Ooh, okay, they're having a drink. What should I be saying?" Or like, "What? Anyway, that's
gone off the
stupid.
deep end.
We have. Sorry,
No, not us, but like everyone thinking that that's not okay as
Where-
well. But yeah,
yeah. Where are we up to? Because
Forward line.
I don't have. Yeah, cool.
Forwards. Tom Hawkins.
So the Hawk, I love the Hawk, but this is an emotional decision because if I thought with my head, looking at that value and the points that he brings in, probably not a good investment. But I love him.
Whilst I
Great
want to
guy.
say no, this is my team. I'd never have him in my team because of his.
history would suggest that he's scoring.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, like I'm not going to have him in my team because it's just I don't trust key forwards. Charlie
Yep.
Curnow plays half forward and goes down and gets the ball, which helps. But Hawkins is more and more taking ruck contests in the forward line, which means points.
Leads the
and
AFL in goal assists.
leads the AFL in goal assists. Would lead the AFL in goals if he was on a shit team like Harry Mackay was.
Sorry, Carlton fans.
Oh, I mean, I think Carlton fans would agree that they were quite poop last year. That's not to say that they won't be poop this year, but their list suggests that they wouldn't be. But Hawkins, I actually don't hate this pick only because one, you are getting reliability. He plays. Two, he kicks goals and he's good at kicking goals. Three, as I said, he's getting to more and more ruck contests. And because he's so big and strong in those ruck contests, not only does he win them, he takes the ball and gets a kick. So more points again. I don't think he'll average 120,
No.
but I think he's going to average over 90. And
Yep.
if you enjoy watching him play footy, then fucking pick him.
But yeah, that's why I did. And it's the same with Tom McDonald. I think he's sort of the same. I don't think he'll start that high, but I love watching him play. Fritsch. So I picked him because he seemed a little bit undervalued, but he'll also be a little bit inconsistent.
Yes.
Because I feel like,
But no one will have him, and he'll score 120 one week, kicking 6.
yes, that's what I think. He does have the ability to, I think he'll 3 goals a game, whatever, and then all of a sudden, he'll kick 8 or something, just have an absolute perler. And I think dollar cost averaging into him, so I reckon he'll do all right there. Who else did I have?
Charlie Cameron.
Well, he's a little bit the same.
Yep.
He can have some real bangers. Kaczynski, he wronged me last year, but he was a good price because I picked him and he was shit. And as soon as I dropped him out, he played really well. But that's because he went to the forward line.
I'm only worried about him now because
He might not
our
play.
other tall forward, Mitch Lewis, is in career best
Yeah.
shape and form currently. But also Ben McAvoy's playing forward this year.
Is he?
So we're going to have Ben
because
have Ben McAvoy full forward, Mitch Lewis tall, and Jack Gunston's back.
Yep.
So Kaczynski may not be. Last year he was their only option for full forward basically.
Yeah.
He's fit the whole year and he could jump. But now we're going to have a few more options. So his job security, I think he'll play, but he might be coming off the bench.
Yeah.
So we'll just wait and see.
And is it Archie?
Archie.
Oh,
Riley?
Wonder who?
who have you got? Archie Perkins.
Oh, you've made the
Is that
change.
Archie Perkins?
Oh,
you
you
got Archie
made that's different to what we've got. Right. Okay. No, you had Riley Thilthorpe in there.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I know. So I've taken 2 screenshots next to each other, and I've made a change. Just because he kicked the goal over his head.
Yeah,
I like
Riley
that. That's why.
Thrillthorpe.
That's why I picked him.
Now he'll be better this year too. I think.
Thrill House.
Yeah. And also, I like that nickname. And the others were kind of like sort of to fill, and they look like they're going to play.
Yeah, Parker and DeConey. Rumour Parker.
Rumor. Charlie Parker and the rumor.
Yep. So that's Syme's SuperCoach winning team. I believe.
Yeah. I'll probably we'll make a few changes. What I think I'll do, yes, you should. So what I think I'll do for anyone that cares is I will sort of sort of take the Hutto technique and I'll swap mids that can play forward into the forwards.
Yep.
I'll try and get some more mids that because they're the highest scorers, some cheaper ones in there, and then I think I'll get some more premiums in the back line.
Yeah, I think at the price as well, Phil Thorpe, he's $350. There's someone, if you can get rid of him, move Dunkley into. This is a ready-made trade for you. Nice little one, courtesy of Hudson. Thrillthorpe out, Dunkley forward, Matthew Rowell, and I think you'll actually end up saving No, you might spend another 15K.
Do we like him, but is that Grazzi's mate? No, that's someone else. Who's that?
Who's that?
The guy from Geelong with the red hair you don't like.
Gary Rowan.
Gary
Yeah,
Rowan.
that's who I thought
No
it
one
was.
Yeah,
likes him.
bloody all redheads look the same.
His mum
Yes.
doesn't even like him.
Yes, well, yeah, there you go.
Um,
All right, that's my
She
team.
called him Gary. Of course she doesn't like him.
Gary.
Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
Righto, let's look at this bloody perennial.
The number one.
What do you always
team.
finish? You're a perennial
No.
10,000.
I was shit for a while, and then all of a sudden, when I figured out structure a little bit better, I started going like around between 10 and 15,000, and 2020 was top 4,000.
Nice.
But Simon's interested in my super.
Yeah, he's fucking done with you. Kuda was on the camera before. Yeah, he was. His big head, big dinosaur head. Yeah, he's looking a bit chub. Chubby Kuda. All right, are we going to wait for Simo? We're just getting We've been going for a while,
I'll
so we'll just get into
I'll
it.
explain my difference.
Righto,
We've got
back
similar
six.
players.
What do we got?
Well,
Lloyd.
the only because it's similar to yours, but the
Yes.
one difference is Jack Crisp.
Yeah.
Now, and this is because I had breakfast near him last year, and it was a sign, and I didn't pick him, and he had the best season of his career. But I've owned him twice before. Currently, number one in the AFL for games played consistently without missing.
Yep.
He'll be playing midfield again.
Possibly.
Yep. Even if he doesn't, I don't see any reason why he won't also just get a ton of the ball, because the ball will be. I've got Collingwood as my wooden spoon favourites. Sorry, Collingwood fans.
How? The only guy that kicked goals for
well, they
Gold Coast
finished-
tore his ACL during the
They already finished second last. Oh, okay. Well, taking that out of the equation, they finished 17th last year. Still have the issue of all the players that they had. They got rid of Treloar, Phillips, the experienced player Stevenson, and the young guys aren't quite ready yet. Take them to the next level. So, I'm not too buoyant on their future. However, over about 5 years' time, they'll be all right. But but I think Chris will lead that team leading forward. So, Lockie Whitfield picks himself. So does Jake Lloyd. Sicily has been in and out. I actually had Will Day in that position for a while, who I think will be a fantastic selection. However, has done none of the pre-season so far, as he still recovers from a broken ankle from last year that he recovered from, played, and then re-aggravated, and they're being very cautious. So that's why we don't have Will Day. That's, I think, about 340K. So if he does play round one, that's a good mid-price option.
the other mid-price option at that one, I was going to have in my team, but didn't. Darcy Tucker at Freo.
Him as well. And Dan Rioli we didn't mention.
Yeah, Dan Rioli.
The, playing off the back flank. So Kadeen Coleman might be just as good as Rioli in that case, as a sort of mercurial forward moved back flank. But we'll wait and see on that one.
And then your rookies,
I've got DeConing and Skinner
DeConing.
for the minute. Mature ages that could play. McDonough, who's a great kicker. He looks like he's 37 years old. But that's fine.
I'm just so proud of the photo that I've put on here for him. It's him after he got drafted in his Bombers
He
scarf.
just looks like some fan.
Yeah, he's like, I'm Garrett and I like the Bombers.
And like, of course, oh, that's so good. And Charlie Dean. So there's
Charlie
the back line.
Doon. What about how Simo went to put the dog out and I think he's lost? He's just stuck.
He's gone. He had a beer. I thought I just saw, but
Right, you've gone 4 premiums, a Lockie Neal, and then some rooks.
yeah. So this is interesting. McRae and Oliver picked themselves, I believe. You're missing out if you don't have them. Tom Mitchell, as we spoke about, I feel the same as you. Sam Walsh, I think he's just going to average 115 plus for the rest of his career at this point, and I think I'm just going to jump in now early on. Lockie Neal, of course, and then risky, but there's merit this year in having the three of the top price mid rookies, because I think Dacos and Horn Francis are definitely playing, and I think Ward is pretty much spot on to play, and if he does, he has a game that is very conducive to scoring heavily anyway. So even as if he's playing round one, if he plays the first 10 games, he's definitely averaging at least 18 touches. He's going to get 60s, 70s. He's going to go up in price. So, yeah, definitely worth having.
Oh, that's weird. We've just seen, I flick back to camera and we've just watched Simon finish a beer in a glass and then pour a new beer into the same glass.
But he also had a coffee lager, and then he's poured an IPA into it following
yeah,
that.
interesting call.
Well, listen, I'm new to the game, but so what I'm going to do...
Nice glass, nice Mount Culture glass. Have you done a little bit of a science experiment there?
Well, so I'm going to try and get the coffee out using a part of the beer, and then hopefully it doesn't ruin the rest
Oh,
of the beer.
absorb it.
Yeah.
Like you're using the bent spoke sprocket as a sort of Viva paper towel
Yes. Yes. Essentially.
to absorb the coffee lager.
Viva.
Isn't that the brand, Viva?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe you're a coal shopper. Are you a coal shopper?
Is
Do you
I
do the
thought-
shopping?
Have you been
We do
shopping
the shopping as a family every Sunday.
Do you?
every Sunday?
Do you know how hard it was? You were in the one person only at the supermarket. That was bullshit. Do you know how hard that was? I'd come home and be like, I forgot this, didn't I?
So I don't
Why
know.
you just write a list?
Because who can be bothered?
And also, I don't want to get sidetracked again, but I'm a basket shopper because that's how long.
Basket case
That's
as well.
Hey, that's how long I want to be in there. Until that's full, no longer. And also, so I'll do 3 or 4 of those baskets a week if I need to be. So I'm in there for a short amount of time, and also, yeah, I don't know. The one person thing wasn't really a thing.
I actually had someone I was speaking to a mate today. Do we do names on here?
Yeah, because like unless they
course we
killed
do.
someone,
Well,
did
I
they?
don't want to.
Average mate.
I don't want to assume anything, but no, Dondi came around and we watched.
we love Donny.
Oh, we had a podcast at Dondi's.
We watched the Pacers Cavs game. Pacers scored 47 in the first quarter and lost.
Oh,
Franchise record.
That's
first
why you don't
quarter
watch
scoring.
the start of basketball. You always watch the end.
Yeah,
I
that's-
tell you what though, fucking Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton. Oh, I couldn't be more excited.
yeah.
They
Well,
were
I'm
insane.
very excited about that. Buddy Hield is extremely underrated, and Lakers are fucking stupid because they could have had him, but they've got bloody Russell Westbrook as
Yeah,
a
fuck
fan.
it.
Can I make an
call him.
observation about basketball real quick?
Yeah.
I feel like basketballers are named later on when they find out they're going to be basketballers. Because why has everyone got like an
Cool
iconic name?
name. Yeah.
Or like all these parents just like,
No, so do you know?
all right, we'll name him this because then they'll see it on the team
Yeah.
sheet and go, well, we'll give him more of a go because his name's fucking cool. And then they develop better.
Yeah. No,
If you
I
actually like
agree.
a lot of the draft stories, they'll be like, I knew he was going to make it, kind of thing. Like it was almost like Cade Cunningham was born, and they were like, he's playing NBA, so we'll fucking name him Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, there's no
That's-
one with a
yeah.
clunky name. There's no Simons, really.
There's no
except for
there's no like
Simon.
Dean Simon
yeah,
There's
I-
gotta be
yeah,
or Peter Smith.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, but
There was a Josh Smith.
yeah, but
I bet he
was,
didn't last
he's
long.
gone. See,
He was very good.
Nah.
Nah, he was very good.
nah, but his name.
Did you know he won the dunk contest, I think twice, couldn't palm a ball.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. He was just such a freak
Did he just
athlete.
windmill
made the
everything?
best of it.
He just hooked
Oh,
it.
yep.
He like hooked it in. and,
Velcro.
Like, yeah. He was pretty incredible.
Anyway, we've gone off
Did you
topic a
know
little bit.
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf?
Yeah. Oh, he was great.
Yeah, so he got kicked out of the league because he prayed instead of standing.
No one can say his name.
Instead of standing for the national anthem.
I
He
missed
wasn't
that.
born Mahmoud Abdul
So-
Rauf. That's what he changed his name to after he converted to
Yeah.
being a Muslim, similar
More
to
athletes. We
yeah,
talked about
similar
this,
to
yeah.
Muhammad Ali
Yep.
and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But he got pretty much kicked out of the league. He's still alive. He has Tourette's.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, jeez.
What was his
Imagine.
name?
Oh, fuck. I don't want
That wasn't Peter Smith or something,
Danny
was it?
Danny Stewart.
Mahmoud Abdul.
That'd be really interesting
He's
because,
releasing a book.
because if he's praying and he's got Tourette's, like what's he calling? What's he calling the Lord?
He was born Chris Jackson.
There you go. Yep.
Sorry, it's Chris
Of course he was.
Jackson.
Sorry, Chris Jackson.
There's been
Yep.
a lot of Jacksons in the
So technically, so
NBA.
he was out of the league because he prayed instead of standing for the national
yeah,
anthem.
so he was like the original Colin Kaepernick.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So Colin Kaepernick can just bloody calm down because people were kneeling long before he was.
Yeah, do you know the funny thing? So Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, the only reason I mentioned him is because I saw on Instagram he's releasing a book, and Colin Kaepernick has a publishing company, and they're doing the publishing of his book,
There you go.
which is pretty cool. Yeah, to get back on track, what are we doing? You had Ward, and
Josh
then you
Ward,
had
Ward
McDonald, Clark, and Tits Ass.
So, Conor Mcdonald has been the one mentioned the most by all the Hawthorn assistant coaches. So if you don't have him at 117K, might be worth putting him on the bench. I think he'll play early by the Saints.
McDonald.
Forward line. Ruck.
Ruck.
It's generic. Gone Grundy for now. Hey, he's flirted with some Sean Darcy action.
Shout out one of our loyal listeners, when he finally gets up to this podcast, Big Michael, he looks a lot like
Yeah.
your R3 Sam Hayes here.
Yeah, and Mike, like, is that you?
Yeah, are you sure?
And like, I don't want to make him uncomfortable, but you talk about physical specimen.
Yeah.
He's, tell you what.
Talk
And best
yeah.
bloke.
Bloody talk about shoulders.
Yeah, he's just one of those people that is like, he's a better bloke than I am.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to, and you just accept it and move on. You don't try. You're like, oh, well, it's all right.
I
This
am
is-
who I am. He is who he is.
Well,
and he's just better at
He's
it.
just better at life. He's a great guy.
Get down to Soden's, he might pour you a beer.
Yeah, bloody oath. If you're lucky.
Forward line.
Now-
You've gone mid-price madness except for one, Dustin
gone-
Martin.
I've got Dustin Martin, and the reason being, everything he's gone through, he's finally had a serious injury that he's never had to cop in his whole career. So he's basically,
Weird one
he's
too.
basically,
Lacerated kidney.
yeah, he's had to stare his footballing mortality in the face for the first time,
And his own mortality.
and his own mortality after his father passed away.
Yeah, I reckon he's going to be like, it's going to be like,
He's got nothing left to lose.
No.
But he's achieved everything he needs to achieve in footy, and I was like, he's going to be downhill from here. But he probably wasn't expecting his dad and like a really serious, life-threatening injury to happen all very quickly. I sort of feel like apparently from all reports, he's dropped like 8 to 10 kilos, and he looks incredible.
yeah.
And he's in great, like, so I'm just,
But-
500K, like, surely.
When you told me about this, I was a bit worried about where he's dropped the 5 to 10 kilos from because he wasn't exactly carrying much extra.
No, he's strong anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, so that's, yeah, I don't know. Going in for that reason. We'll see how the practice games go. But, yeah, money-wise, it makes sense to have him there. Cam Rayner, Kadeen Coleman, Stephen Cornelio, Charlie Curnow, a lot of the C's, they're all in there.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have the same players. I've also got Charlie Comben. I know, another C. How good?
Fucking have a go. He's
His picture is a bit rough, is it?
odd-looking fella.
Oh, sorry, Charlie, if you're listening.
I think, no.
But apparently,
like,
from all reports, he's playing. He's going to be playing
Like,
mostly forward, maybe a bit of ruck time.
when I say people are odd-looking fellas, I'm not saying that in a negative way because I'm a fucking odd-looking fella.
Who are we
Ron
talking about? Which
Perlman
bloke?
has made a career as a Hollywood actor.
Yeah. This fella, Charlie Comben, he's just here and he's
Charlie Compton from Compton Accountants.
yeah, he kind of, and he's. I think the thing that makes me nervous is that his head, like his cheekbones and his neck, are of the same width. Like it's just a straight line down.
Yeah, he should work on that. He should work on that.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about bloody. What's his name? Bloody Liam Pedler. What's
Luke
he peddling?
Pedler.
Luke
He's
Pedler.
peddling something, isn't
Yeah,
he? He
Scott-
looks like
Scott-
That's a
Ped-
peddling.
Yeah, it's a
Scott
peddling.
Pedlerbury.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. Oh, is he retired?
No.
He's playing back flank, I reckon.
Did you say retired or?
No, I said retired.
Oh,
I said
dear.
retired.
Ben
We don't want another lost episode. I said retired.
Pedler on the bench with Charlie Parker and the rumour.
Peddler on the bench, fiddler on the roof.
Anyway, so during the week, the homework from this podcast is to listen to a few albums from Graham Parker at the rumour and to watch Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler on the roof.
Goodness
I
me.
wish
Peddler on the Roof.
if there's anyone that listens of our very minimal following, if anyone can do art, we'd love to have you on board. Free work, of course, but we'd love to get some t-shirts done because we have some great,
T-shirt idea.
great t-shirt ideas, and I've got a couple of photos
That's
here
a
that we
peddling
can.
is pretty. That's a peddling or
That's a peddler on the
roof.
roof.
But as well, we realised when we had a conversation, we could probably do it, really. There's a few funny T-shirt ideas, and we're all excited about it. And it's like, oh, copyright infringement. But maybe we'll just do it. They don't care.
Well, let me. Yeah, well, Simo, once he sorts his SuperCoach financial issues out, maybe he'll be able to pay the lawsuits.
Yeah, that's it. But I'll tell you what, the SuperCoach team, so I'm going to make a number of changes, but I'm not going to try and go with the same players as you guys. I'm going to try and make
fair
it
enough.
fairly different because you've got, you seem to have like particularly in the midfield, and like obviously now reading them out, I'm like, oh God, what did it do? But Oliver and the other bloke, who's the other bloke you both got?
Walsh.
Well, I know I got Walsh.
McRae.
McRae. So I mean, he was was he the highest statted?
He's
dude?
the highest priced midfielder.
Yeah, 700k. That's a lot.
But because you've got so many guys at about 250 put them down to rookies that'll play, and then you've got money to.
Yes, well, I think that's what I'll do, but I'll try and do some different plays and
There's
maybe
gonna be-
some that are not as popular.
There's going to be an interesting listen because I accidentally just cut the audio for about half a second.
Oh,
that's
that's
all
okay.
right. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
But yeah, I've just put the our t-shirt idea on the screen for everyone to see.
Where's the button?
What button?
Isn't there a button?
Oh yeah, we've got a button. That was from the lost episodes.
Hey, Specky. Don't call me a specky twat.
Yeah, so just explain it for those who don't know or everyone know about this one.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that we didn't have that podcast go out. So this is fresh news for people that don't follow the news in a 3
People that
weeks.
weren't sitting in the shed as we did it.
Yeah, and for people that don't go on the internet for about a month. We're very fast. We're news breakers. We're basically Woj if he was on a 4-week delay.
Yeah,
we
no,
doing
we're very fast over 400 meters. That's all.
Are we doing beers on this podcast
Yeah, no.
to finish it off? I just need to stop pretending I'm not pissed as.
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. Well, for those playing at home, Gratzy's got a big 11%er over there, so
Does he?
he's lick it up.
Yeah, so
He's belted
just
by the
quickly to finish the story, Mason Cox now wears glasses. Apparently he's getting them on whilst he plays. So we've got
Call me a specky twat.
now, yeah, so he's a specky twat apparently. But yeah, we've got a couple of t-shirt ideas. So you got your big Specky McGee with the block letters because just a nice
Collingwood.
plain shirt in black and white, and where he's wearing his specs. And you've got I've made this with the Specky McGee book logo, but changed the K to a C.
Written by Gary Lyon.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and we did speak about this previously, but so with the specs, does he have the neoprene little thing at the back to hold him on?
Like the floating, like what they do for like what surfers use and boat people.
Yes, and I think the
So
other
it floats in the water.
well, yeah. Anyway, and
Boaters,
I think,
yachters.
I think the other one would be like, is he also wearing, as Americans say, the fanny pack and a pair of 624s? Because he's just an American tourist almost. Just put a bloody jersey on.
I wish I had on Google Drive, but I was watching last night just because you said because of the glasses. I was watching last night Triple M, the best of Triple M Ashes calls.
Oh,
And there's a part in the video where they're paying out Mark Taylor for wearing what it can only be described as gross Gratzy pharmacy sunglasses.
Too dark, way too dark.
Like, no, they're not way too dark. They're just like the style was fashionable in the early 2000s.
what do you think of this guy
But they're
talking about sunglasses?
They're slightly tinted.
How do I post a picture on social media, or we might at some point, of his bloody riding sunglasses?
Oh, my fucking riding
Nah,
sunglasses.
man. So,
No, I'm not saying they're cool, but they get
I'd
the
rather
job
you
done.
get bugs in your face.
that's all right. They get the job done.
That's
but yeah.
all they're there for.
But I think
I'm not going to wear my Ray-Bans.
No, my call very often is like, he's not even wearing those ironically. He's actually chosen to wear those.
No, but I think over time you've realised that my fashion choices, I just don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
but as well, I really think that's a good thing because some people do overthink it, and who actually cares?
No.
one gives a shit.
The
Good
peop-
on you.
I
Do
think-
what you want to do.
Yeah, do what you want to do. But yeah, that was with the Sunnies. But yeah, in baseball,
In the beninging.
in baseball, they'll get a pair of shoes and put spikes on them. Like there's people that convert them. I wonder if
They
he's
do
gonna
that in Australia.
Yeah, 624s and
I
chuck
have-
a big fucking soul conversion.
I've
on
got
there.
I've got
Yeah,
those
they
black
get
and
blades, some blades because they're quite wide, and they just stick the
Well,
sole
I mean,
plate on.
To be fair, like Mason Cox, I don't think he could run slower.
Yeah.
So he may as well wear a big half
You
kilo
know those black and
each
pink
side.
New Balance Avazis I have that you guys hate?
Yep.
I got a mate from footy that loves New Balance, and he's like, honestly, can I have them? Because I know someone that can convert them into cricket shoes. And I'm like, that's pretty cool.
How good?
I said no because I love them.
No,
I love him. I love him.
I love them, and they love me.
All right.
Anyway, I reckon we've done it. We'll probably have one more podcast at some point to talk about just our ladder prediction for.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about the changes I've made, and you guys are going to talk about how impressed you are with my Supercoach.
Yep.
Well,
Look forward to
based on
We will social media post the beers we've had.
Yes.
We'll actually do that. Instagram and
Now,
Facebook.
one
yeah,
thing
we need to revive the Instagram page.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we do. And one thing I love, and this is not having a go, but it's hilarious. One thing that I love about Grazzi is producing on the spot. And he's like, oh, and we'll have the address down here. We're also going to have the beers up. There's going to be a link down there. And what we'll have is another page. And now, Grazie and I, at this point, we just turn up. We don't do any of it. Hutto does everything. So when Grazie or I say those things, Hutto's hearing it for the first time. He's like, okay.
Can't wait.
At least okay.
Yeah.
Can't wait to raise my 4-month-old whilst also doing
You're
those
Mr.
things.
Instagram, I'm Mr. Facebook in this. Though. Like, I'm happy.
And I missed everything else.
Yeah, well, I'm not very talented in that sort of thing.
No, but we need it. I think what we do, this is, we're doing a bit of brainstorming live, but I think we need to get a bit of a website going, whether we go on Squarespace or, is it Winx? That's
Wix.
Winx. Yeah, we get a bit of it, because I've been doing some things on Excel.
Yeah.
And I've got a nice little SuperCoach spreadsheet that consists of around 30 different sheets within the workbook, all with many formulas and links.
Yeah, and I actually saw that live. It was very impressive. And then I was like, fuck, did he download this? Like, what's going on? But then I saw you looking at an unrelated spreadsheet, and you have done a 12-month course in Excel in about 3 weeks. You know everything about it, so it's very impressive. But yeah, Hutto does do a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, particularly the Photoshop. So he does
also
pretty well there.
Self-taught.
Yeah, self-taught. I'll tell you what. So maybe he'll put a couple of videos up on Skillshare.
That's
to show you how to do it.
masterclass.
Yeah. Oh,
How to be good? How to be slightly good at things.
hi. My name's Hudson. I taught myself how to use spreadsheets and Photoshops, and this is my masterclass.
It sounds
They're
like
very convoluted.
you
Like,
saying that
it's
sounded like
weird.
there was someone off camera with a gun pointed at you.
Yeah, but it's super.
It's a live hostage situation.
But have
Yeah,
you
but that
seen
guy
it?
with the
Yeah.
gun behind the camera
Yeah.
is there.
But have you seen a lot of those things? They're so strange. There's not. Yeah. Anyway.
Peter Philander.
Oh, Philandia.
Before, the testicle biter.
Philanthropist,
Before we finish, just in case he listens back when he's older, happy birthday, Cassidy, for tomorrow.
Oh, Cassidy, good on you, buddy.
Turns two. Daddy's got hopefully a very successful podcast.